Shall we play a game?
Hello. Tonight we are running the Mega mod for the Class 66 from SprattyHeath. And, as Maverick just reminded me, also the sound pack from Robert S. And someone else's freight sound pack. Can't remember whose it was. Better figure it out, eh? I should tell you whose it is. Core freight sounds for TSW from Robert S. There we go. So I should put that in. So it's got this one. Why can't I post? Ooh. It's got that one. And it's got this one. And of course, the Megapack. Megapack. Ah, that's got my comment on it. Don't want my comment on it, I just want that. There we go. That's what we're running tonight. Hello to Melbourne Train Guy, Maverick, Joshua Cumbers, Lord Vectron, and his BB thing, and Saul Hernandez, and Chucky. How are you, Chucky? And Choo Choo, I'm a train. Can't forget you. Choo Choo, I'm a train. Right, let's get some notches into this thing. Earlier on, I was running it with the brakes on just so I could keep it in notch 8. There are some occasional loop sound dropouts, but apart from that, pretty cool. And of course the liveries, nice. And I have to say, they're fairly nicely done because we're not losing frames. So they're not massively horrible high polygon things. Could do without the dropouts though. And you can hear the traction motors if you're close enough. Joshua's getting into the training, very good. Saul Hernandez just download. Oh no, Saul's doing the training, very good. Joshua says the mod layout's really nicely on the OTS timetable for West Coast Mainline South. That's the 2025 timetable, I think, isn't it, from memory? Joshua's applied to be a shunter driver for Thameslink, very cool. Maverick says you have to have Southeastern High Speed, Rail Head Trip and Train, and West Coast Mainline South for the Megapack to work. That is indeed true, otherwise it will crash. Listen to that grind of the traction motors. I personally think they're a touch too loud. I think they're overpowering the sounds of the diesel. 2019, Joshua. I thought there was a recent one too. Could be wrong. Yeah, I know they're not just liveries, they've changed other stuff as well, as Chucky points out. Lights. So compared to the traction motors, I think the horn's too quiet now. The traction motors are too loud in the cab. Bit better if you shut the windows, I guess. Yeah, it's a bit better. I'd better think about not doing what I did earlier. I was enjoying the orgasmic experience of the sounds so much earlier that I spattered. On this very run, in fact. In this very place. Hello to Bob's Railway Madness. I am okay. I still have my cold, but it is getting better. Joshua says there is Forks' timetable, the 2024 one. I knew there was a new one. Ooh, not notches. Brakes. More brakes. That'll do. The brake behavior is a little different too in this mod, which I can't say I mind. It's quite decent. Chocky says the 484 is enjoying its run on the NKL. Oh, your 484. Cool. Maverick says consoles need to get mod support. I tend to agree with that. Now that we've got pack mods, we do really need a way to get pack mods out to console users. I think that would be a magnificent thing to do. And there are games that have managed it, so it's not impossible. Opens up a whole new support nightmare. What a nice low-speed brake squeal. Oh, this is one artifact of the mod. Their knuckly couplers always hang out, so you've got to swing them aside. Fortunately, on the side that you couple on, it does seem to figure that out. I did see one before that had the knuckle coupler and the chain, but this one doesn't. We do have our headlights here as we wait for this signal. And they are a bit different to the previous versions, as we look at 66408 in direct rail services. Direct rail services is probably what we're going to get the Class 20 with for our friend Nuclear in Cargo Line Volume 5, the worst kept secret ever. Tram. I did see a mod that lets you ride the trams too. Must get that one day. Can't drive them, but you can ride them. Maverick says there's a lot of older chat you haven't responded to yet. That doesn't really surprise me. Chucky says some have the cab window like the new one. Glorious sounds. I think I'm up to date. Rob S, the chap behind Matt the Tank Engine, Jay Diesel, and Lucas Diesel Slick. And Bob says you forgot to change the brakes from passengers to goods. Did I forget, or was I just lazy, Bob? That is the question you need to ask yourself. It might have been that I was just lazy, but since you've asked, we can do that. There we go. Just for you, Bob. That better? Melbourne Train Guy says he'd pay at least 45 kangaroos for this. Never fight a kangaroo. I have seen tourists try it. It's very, very funny. Why are we waiting here? I've only got 995 yards to go. Bus. It's probably British Ace hooning down the road in a bus. Chocky's having a bit of a laugh. Maverick says excellent stop. What are we waiting for? That's my 66 there. Must be something coming that we're waiting for. We've got... Oh, we're waiting for you, are we? You're in my way. AI service EWR freight from Bastford Hall to Felixstowe. Yeah, you're definitely what's in my way. I'll tell you what. Bye. Now my signal should go green. Or something else will take that path. Maybe something else has. What are we waiting for now? What's in my way now? Maybe you? Don't really know what's in my way now. Something is, clearly. Denied. Guess we'll wait then. Let's look at the DRS livery. It is quite nicely done. Someone spent some good energy on this. Just while we're here, we can pop the thing into neutral and do a load test, I suppose. Smoke. Joshua says, they're the Docklands Light Railway. That they are. They are trams, Chocky. Joshua says a way it could be done would be to put the jobs on a USB drive. I think you should be able to have a download mechanism in the game, really. Well, it's not the tram we're waiting for. We know that. I'm going to move up in case that triggers something. I see something moving up there, actually. Maybe that's what we're waiting for. Because that is going to cross our path. A light rail is still a tram, Mr. Chocky. Don't get all American on me. There we go. Is the game loud enough? There you go, put it up a little bit. Maverick says we need a class 99. Saul says, got off my shift and hop right back on a train. Well, absolutely. Often come home from my shift on the steam trains and drive trains in the game, as you do. Bob says, how many times have you seen a 66 on passenger work? Actually, I have seen one. On my last trip to the UK, I saw one. It was dragging something broken. It's not what you think it is in a little tiny glass. Battlewing works for EMD. That's cool. Welcome along, Battlewing. These are an EMD. They're basically an SD70 without dynamic brakes. Jack says, have you seen any photos or videos of the Class 99? I have. Is the Class 99 going to spread across the whole country? Because if it does, that might mean that we get it. That would be good. And MDD, yes, it was the 387 on the platform. 378, yes. Yes, Chocky got there first. He often does. Does the GSMR work? I got banking com. I don't know if I've got an on button though. Turn GSMR on. No, it doesn't look like it. Might depend on the actual loco. Some of the 66s have got GSMR and some don't. Maverick says, are you going to stream the Expert 101 on the Castle Wurzburg pack? Maybe. Bob says you're not due to move until 6:21. That's when I stop. Just around the corner here. Ooh, look at the diesel leakage mess on the tank. I like that. That's nice. I like little touches like that. The only negative thing I've found with the mod so far is the locos don't work with Raildriver anymore. For me, that's a bit of a bummer, but, you know, I'll slum it. I'll use this thing. But it also means that they won't work with the TSXC controller when it turns up. Because I have got one on the way. There's our red signal down there. Not too far away now. I could probably stop torturing the electric train so much and go a bit faster. Ooh, purple. Please do smash the like button as Nightbot demands. MTG didn't mean to sound blunt. Aussies always sound blunt. We are blunt. We're terrible, really. And MTG says, where's that tram now? They're over there. There isn't one there at the moment. You can actually get over there if you try hard enough. We'll jump onto another route when we get to this red signal up here, because that's as far as this one goes, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Lord Vectron says there's a luxury train in Scotland that has a Class 66. No idea what it's called, but I saw some TV show the other day. And Chocky says an SD70 that looks like a garden shed. This is very true. They look like a particular kind of garden shed that you buy from Costco. Just saying. And I'd better think about slowing down sooner. I'm going to spat again. Yes, again. Jack says that would mean something that's not a 66. Yes. GBRf are using the 99 on all their electric routes, so that's a fair selection. Be good if it was everywhere. I like the brake squeal in the Rob S mod. It's quite nice. Let's appreciate it more. MTG says the Southeastern High Speed model is TSW3 Air and the DRS is from TSW4. I'm going to stop too early at this rate. You wanted more revs. Chocky says GBRf said electric routes. They said it on the West Coast Mainline, East Coast Mainline, NLL Goblin up to Manchester, Trent Valley. DRS and 1 Class 66 came out with Cargo Line Volume 1. It's not my green screen, but yes, it does sometimes blur out the writing. It's a bit weird. It is a little bit weird. It's an NVIDIA thing. Every now and again they screw it up when they update the drivers. Do you want to see how to get to the trams while we're here? I'll show you how to get to the trams. Alright, continue. Return to free roam. We'll just let the AI take this thing whenever it wants, because it will pretty quickly. Stuff the door, it can stay open. You gotta come over down here somewhere. Where is it? No, down here further. There is a way to do this. I know, unless they've fixed it. Let's go at the other side and try out the other side. Wait. There we go. Now we've got it. Now, if I can get across before that comes and without getting run over by that one. Good. Now we hoon along here. And over this side. Listen to that magnificent squealing as it drives along with its brakes on. Good on you, AI. Release the brakes. You can also go for a ride in the Baker Poo, of course. You don't get far, but you can. Listen to that growl. Oh, they fixed it. You can't get along that fence anymore. Bugger. You used to be able to get in past that fence and you could get right up to the trams. And all you had to do was go and stand in front of one of them. I'm getting forced into the edge here. Yeah, they fixed it. All you had to do was stand in front of it and it would scoop you up as it drove along. They fixed it. That's very annoying. Let's see if we can sneakily get around this way. Come on, there's a climb up here somewhere. I know there is. Oh, there it is. Right, gotcha. Can we sneak down this platform and go across up here? Because you can't normally get to this platform too, so I don't know that they would have blocked it, but we'll see. See how clever they are. We'll be back in the sheds in a moment, never fear. They fixed it. That's so annoying. Alright, back to the sheds. What route are we going to run a shed on? Moa trams, he says. Chucky says the 99 has an engine, so it can run on southeastern and southern routes, but on diesel, the 66 is better than the 99, so they're keeping the 99 electric the majority of the time. Oh, why don't we try... Are there any 66s on Birmingham? I can't remember. Let's try the new timetable. Ooh. There's one there. It's not even at night. Well, it won't be dark anyway. It's July. It should be fine. Grouse. Melbourne says, I'd love to see the Lizzie line so we have more overground. But Lizzie lines aren't driven. The computer does it. That'd be very boring. You'd have to be a guard. And they don't have guards. Uh-oh. You'd have to be a passenger. Maverick says the Richmond extension is set to be goated. What's this one look like? Advenza Freight. Alright, let's set this thing up. All of our little switches are right. Does have banking com, but no other way to turn it on, unfortunately. We got a green signal, we do. I did turn on AWS, didn't I? No, I didn't. Must have been on. Yeah. It must have been on already. Oh yeah, it's cargo line. They're on by themselves. And we're in goods mode again. Dope. This is for Bob. There you go, Bob. Goods mode. Ah! I turned it off. They do now spew an appropriate amount of Gretas too, which is good to see. What I'd love to know, Mr. Works for EMD, is why doesn't that massive exhaust hole fill up with water? Because it's huge and it points straight up. You ever notice the passengers never ride freight trains? What? So we have 66841. Philip KN, thoughts on the 170 pack? I gave it about a 6 out of 10 before the update. I haven't played it since the update, so we'll have to see. That's the loop drops I was talking about in higher notches that you sometimes hear. You can hear the traction motors starting to whine. Lord Vectron says, we've talked about that. It's getting a bit loud now, isn't it? Let's bring it back down a little so I can talk. Is that better? No, it's too quiet. How about that? That looks alright. Is that loud enough for you? Let me know if it's not and I'll turn it back up. Next one we'll do is a coalless freight on an RHTT somewhere. They're often at night though, so we'll have to choose wisely. Uh-oh, I'm being naughty. No. We'll let gravity deal with it. It'll be fine. What could go wrong? Nothing. MTG says a light shed napping among friends. MTG says they'll block it now. Yeah, maybe. I've showed DTG how to get over there. Didn't block it then. They fixed some of it, but not all of it. Chocky wants East Coast Way. Melbourne Train Guy says Scottish something. Maybe not the Lizzie, the Jubilee. The Jubilee would be a better choice, yes. Chocky says the Lizzie line is self-driving from Abbey Wood to Old Oak Common. That'd be a yellow signal. Probably do something about that. Bit of light braking. Joshua says another option with a class 93, basically 99s in ROG livery. Chocky says all tube lines except Bakerloo and Piccadilly are self-driving. That's boring. Don't tell me that, I'm going to ride heaps of them when I get there. W. Sanchi. Very good class 66 Megapack mod. It is quite good. I'm quite liking the deliveries that have been done. Highly appreciative. This one's the Advenza Rail Freight, or Advenza Freight. It's quite nice, and you can see the frame counter, so they aren't horrible high polygon things. They've been done by someone who actually gets it. But they still have some really nice details, so the weathering's quite nice. Quiet you. I don't know what I got stuck on then, but something. Platform maybe. Let's have a look at the sticker. So that's done pretty nicely. Loading point markers. You can see through there. Never noticed that before. But I suppose that makes sense. And that thing that just flew past us is why we have a yellow. And there's nothing untoward in my tiny glass, honest. If I put it in a coffee cup, you'd have nothing to complain about. Maverick says he messaged Sim Workshop to see if they could send over one of their TSX controllers for yours truly to review. No response as yet. Well, wait and see. I'll be open and say that I have come to an arrangement with them. It's not strictly a freebie because I need to make tutorials and show it in use and talk about it and spend time on it and all sorts of things like that, which is worth some good dosh. The joys of freight rolling up onto reds. Because unfortunately, in the UK, freights are a lower priority than the passengers. There's so many passengers. I did see, when I was in Japan, I saw some locos that looked remarkably like SD40-2s. And I was thinking, I've never seen them in Japan before. Where did they come from? And if they're not made for Japan, then they've been re-gauged because Japan is 1067mm. Except the Shinkansen, which is 4'8". Maverick says going down Lickey is going to be fun. We could go down to Lickey in a Class 66. What about up Lickey in a Class 66, though? That's going to sound better. Going down, it's just going to be squealing brakes all the way. Would you like my new little icon? I made it just before the stream. The mods in use icon. Too fast again. I do like a notch 8. I like the traction motor's delay a little. I think that's quite cool. Not a fan of having power on while you brake. Some of them let you do it and some of them don't. This is clearly one of the ones that doesn't let you do it. Melbourne Train Guy says Lickey should be easy, 1.5-ish bar. Well, it's not that steep. It's only at, what, 2.7 at its steepest, I think? I'll actually get to fire up our big bloody hill on Friday, because, let me check, but last time I checked I didn't have a trainee, which is weird for a Gembrook run at this time of year. There's normally trainees all over them. Let's have a quick look. Dryman, firemen and engine cleaners. And we want August the 1st. Ooh, September's up. Put my name down for some stuff. Oh, I have an engine cleaner. Oh, there's 2 engine cleaners. Simon and Shreya. Might take one of them out firing. That'd be pretty good. If I don't get any trainees, I think I'll take an engine cleaner with me. I like taking out an engine cleaner. It's good for them. They learn shit. Look at that plume of Gretas. Let's get down next to the freight wagons because they make noises with the Robest pack. Ooh, no Fred. Naughty. Listen to those traction motors growl. Bromsgrove, here we come. Chocky says, I went down a 125% gradient. Yes, that's a mod. But yeah, that'd be pretty steep. I think the horn should be louder. The traction motors are overpowering it. So the balance isn't quite right on the sound mod. And Melbourne train guys, see those patterns you can see in the fences that are running up ahead of us? So over here and over here. Those are Moya patterns, and that's what I was talking about. And Subway Sim 2 solved them. Granted, they're in UE5, but they solved them. So I don't see why DTG can't. They kind of annoy me. When you're distant, you don't get to hear the traction motors. And if you close the windows, the traction motor sounds kind of go away, which is good. Just keep enough juice on to keep the train stretched out. Although we are picking up a little bit too much speed, so maybe I can't. Glad that red's not for me. Because we'd be going tea and biscuits time. Chocky says, yes, the fences are annoying. And Melbourne Train Guy says, always wondered what the heck they were. Yep, very annoying. It's a very old school problem. It goes right back to the beginnings of graphics. And it's an issue with anti-aliasing, because when you're drawing things that are in a straight line, you can't actually draw them as a completely straight line in a curved world. It just doesn't work that way. And because they're drawn slightly curved, they get jaggy. And the anti-aliasing artifacts that fix the jaggies cause these Moya patterns. So you choose between jaggy lines that look like staircases, or Moya patterns. So even when you're stationary, you can see them. It's just... wah. Not nice. Maverick says, could we get a cheeky 87 run this stream? That's just yanking my chain. A cheeky 87 run. Well, only if we couple it to a 66. What if they double head together? Did this route get animated cows? When did that happen? Moo. That's right. You're a very horny cow, aren't you? Indeed. Look at the size of those horns. Better not hide in the grass when it's a cow. It might eat you. Yeah, I know. I've got the brakes on. Don't worry about it. So we slide around the hill. Mr. Hawk, hello. Does that make it a 153? What, the cow? Melbourne Train Guy says an 86 would be fire. I think we're going to stop in time, so no more breaks. Chucky says, is it a mod that does that? I don't know. Is there a mod? No, the pigeons on BCC are there. They've always been there. My install's fairly clean apart from the mods I put on for this today. So, no, I'm not expecting... certainly not expecting any cows. Mr. Hawks is the 66 plus the 187. Oh, very clever, Mr. Hawk. I missed that one. I've never claimed to be intelligent. Actually, I do. I kind of claim it at work. I went back today for the first time since going to Japan. And I have to say, and while we have a social media policy that says do not talk about work in social media, I have to say my team, perfect. They did such an awesome job while I was away, just handled stuff, just made stuff happen. Brilliant. Very, very happy with them. It's very nice to come back when there's just no crisis and the work's just happening, just the way it should. MTG says perhaps a 66 hauling an 86 plus a rake with an 87 on the tail. I reckon that would catch fire. Chocky says they have 147 mods. I generally don't run any. I put them on for specific purposes, like today. No, you want me to stop, don't you? Oops. No, stop. Not go faster. Twit. Just to be clear, I'm the twit, not you guys. Maverick asks, how does your game run at all, Chuggy? Yep. Right. There we go. So what we're going to do, we're going to do East Coast Mainline or something, were we? Somebody asked for something earlier. Or something Scottish. We could do something Scottish. There was a request for Scottish. Are there 66s on East Coast Mainline? There's a question for you. Main menu. Maverick says West Coast Mainline South, 87 plus 66. Is there a formation like that? That Thomas. Coal ass rail freight. 4:05 in the morning. Let's put it in June. Maybe it'll actually be light. We'll see. I'll even be brave and leave dynamic weather on. Maverick says it would have to be done in free roam. Chucky says, you're always changing it to East Coast Mainline from East Coastway. Well, you know, that is daytime. And we have a coal ass and an RHTT. Does it still have the RHTT stuff? No, it doesn't. Well, there's an issue, Mr. Modmaker. We don't have RHTT stuff anymore. There you go, Bob. Just for you. And I guess none of those signals are for me, since the HUD says I've got green to go. So we'll go. It's going to be a pretty quick run with these things on the back. Ooh, coal ass ripples a little bit. Did you see that? Oh, we've got a grubby EWS one on the back. With its headlights on. Good on you. Now I have to stop and fix that. I've seen it. Can't let that stand. Go on, where's the door? Or am I just leaving it open? Give me a door. No, we'll have to do it the hard way. Whee! Alright, what do we got? No tail lights. Good. It's better than headlights at least. MTG, does the coal ass have an EOT on the front? Let's have a look. It's got a port open. That's weird. But no EOT, just a bugeye coupler. Or did you mean back here? So what's its hose connected to? So it hasn't got the... Maybe it's got the RHTT gear in this end. Let's have a look. No. There you go, Mr. SprattyHeath. Where's our RHTT stuff gone? Fine, stupid doors. Some of the 66s do have really bad doors. The hotspots, you can actually find a hotspot on them, but it's really small. Juicy. Well, given it's on a RHTT, I would think it should have a controller. Just seems fair to me. Hello, Leon. How are you? Melbourne Train Guy says, coal ass, lol. Yes, and it is an RHTT-less ass. Chocky seeking God. Is that red for me? No. Good. I was worried for a minute there. I know I've got a track change coming. Better slow down a little bit for that, I guess. Mr. Modmaker got that one right. Indeed. Mr. Hawk says meant to be for through running. I think that's actually... It is a through running cable, but I think it's also used by the RHTT trains. We're apparently going too fast, but we'll ignore that. Alright, let's notch her up. No, the other one. Is that weird switch from series to parallel? Yeah, neutral zone. Klingons off the starboard bow. MTG says the RHTT controller usually moves to whatever seat you occupy. Fail. How fast is this allowed to go? 75, isn't it? Yeah, 75. So we probably shouldn't do 90, even though it feels like it wants to. Keep our strain stretched and just sit back and relax now and just let it cruise. Ow, I just hit my face on a bridge. We can enjoy the coal ass rail freight. It's coal ass ice. As we run slightly over speed. Leon is good, that's good. Leon says, do you want jokes or no jokes? You can make jokes as long as they're safe for work. The RHTT train has its own Jenny and the controller is wireless. Fair. Chocky says, doing my first run in the 170/6, the headlights keybind isn't working and some of the seating areas lack audio due to there being sliding doors on the /4. Yes. Yes, there is some audio issues towards the cabs in the passenger area. And it's one of the reasons why I scored it a 6 out of 10. It was one of the things I knocked a point off for, was that audio occlusion zone that shouldn't be there. Let's see if we can get onto the platform before the train. Run, 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 little sausage train. There we go. Perfect. Maverick says, I'll have to go in 40 minutes. My farewell to the UK lunch. Leaving tomorrow. Well, have a safe flight, my friend. Have a safe flight. It's one of those sad things, because, you know, it would have been cool to meet up, but when I'm in Japan, you're in the UK. When I'm going to be in the UK, you're in Japan. You could have planned that better, Math, even though you didn't know I was coming. You should have felt a tremor in the force and handled it. MTG says, we are doing Maverick to Edinburgh. And you're willing to sacrifice your load. Look at that, I've driven 660 miles in a 66. That's kind of scary. That's rather a few runs. Leon says, if you hit the bridge, then the bridge will be down and cars crash down. Well, I think my face would go flat, personally. Yes, I know I have no tail lights on, Chocky. I turned them on and nothing happened. And yes, it was terrible timing. And your force sensitivity is low. "22 miles to the down Green Hill goods loop. For Mr. Cole-ass." Chocky says the AWS... No, the AWS is working, Chocky. There's a switch in up behind you that you have to turn on, and you have to turn on the keys that are over there somewhere. So you have to turn on both. Mr. Hawk says this isn't the Montague Street Bridge. No, that's true. I do like the Montague Street Bridge, and I have to say that if I lived in the apartments across the road, I would have a webcam on that bridge. Because so many people hit it. So do people want to watch this 66 for the next 21 miles? Or do you want me to run something else? Whose idea was it to go to Glasgow? Glasgow, where men wear skirts. And the women have mustaches. Sorry, I was just channeling my inner Clarkson. I shouldn't let my inner Clarkson out. It just gets me in trouble. I don't want to get beaten up by a man in a skirt. Leon says, you're going too fast, like a bus. That makes sense. Melbourne Train Guy is disowning Glasgow, Edinburgh. Pretty sure it was you. Well, gratuitous bridge. Gratuitous bridge. Massive bridge. Ah, cake. Thank you. I have cake. With cream. And I got warned it might be crap.
I think I overcooked that pan.
Cake. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now I need to wash my shirt. Photo mode does shit itself sometimes, Jockey. Go back into it and come out again. It's a bouncy coal ass. Hello, Transport East Anglia. I don't know where your imagination comes from, Leon. That friend is my wife, Leon. I don't think she'd like to be given away. I think she'd get me.
What?
Leon wants the cake and my friend. That's all right. Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to give away your wife. Granted, it did used to be, back in the day, be a relatively common thing. That you'd rock up to a party and just lob your keys in a bowl. I might say I was a kid when this sort of stuff was going on, so I don't see me being involved in it. But then you'd pick up someone else's keys, and that set of keys came with their wife. So you took home their car and their wife. It is a very bouncy little coal ass compared to the RHGT carriage, which is like a rock. BG says your money or your wife. Ah, Borat. We miss Borat. I think the world needs another Borat movie. Jockey has the 170 up to 103 mile an hour. They do go quite quick downhill. Uphill, they go pretty slow. Let's go get out in front of this thing somewhere. A lot of traffic on this road. How many other trains have we seen so far? Oh, wait, 0. Oh, look at that. A convenient gratuitous bridge. There it is. The coal ass followed by the ooze. If your coal ass is oozing, you should probably see a doctor. Melbourne Train Guy says, is the coal ass using the West Coast Mainline or the Cargo Line 66? I think it's the West Coast Mainline one. But there are different variations that you can choose from because it shows you the home route plus the livery. Maverick says, I just learned the former GWR ACSCs have just been put into service on the Lagos Metro in Nigeria. Ah, I have a friend in Lagos. I'll get him to go get me photos. These are your standard low-res cows, unlike the ones we experienced before, that were very horny. Chocky says I can hear a relatively realistic squeal inside. I don't like the mosquitoes in the Class 170 that happen at about 85 mile an hour in the passenger space. It just sounds like this horde of mosquitoes is coming to take you out. We come to suck your blood. 13 miles to the down at Green Hill Goods Loop. Loop. Leon wants to know if my wife is mad at him. Probably. And I'd be careful, Leon. She's Greek. Greeks don't have a sense of humour. They have a vindictive. Maverick wants to know if we do another collab video. Of course we can do that. Chucky says you played the old timetable, not the updated one. It's a bit quiet. There's no mosquitoes. It was a realistic squeal. Maybe they've fixed it in the update. I haven't tried it since the update came out. The update ironically arrived for me just after I finished the stream on Monday night. Would have been much better if I had it at the start of the stream, but alas, that did not happen. "11 miles to the down Green Hills Loop." Wasn't that nice? Even I can do a Colonel Cam on a short train. Go into the passenger space at about 85 mile an hour, Chocky, and see what it sounds like on the 170. It's getting loud again, isn't it? I'll just turn it down for me, though. Because the levels tell me it's okay for you guys, but if I keep it that loud for me, it'll make me yell at you. I don't want to yell at you. The cake was nice, Leon. Uh-oh, curve. Nothing hit me doing that, that's good. Only 8 unrelenting miles to go. Leon loves food. Chucky says I could go for cake. Mr. Hawk says if the wife made it, it's always nice. Tip for the future, Leon. It's very true. Although I have to say mine does appreciate it a little more if it isn't nice that you actually let her know. Seven miles to roll on. Maverick says you need the Class 385 sound pack. I think I've run that one before. I have tried most of the mods on Train Sim Community at one time or another. There are a lot of good ones, but most of the time I run vanilla. So if I'm not running this little logo over here on the right hand side, then I'm running vanilla generally. Hello, Amy. How are you? Have you run anybody over today? MTG says I'll just run the 380, but I'm done with the rivet defense after the 170. I don't think the 170 is awful, but it could be better. We're rolling along with the 66 Mega mod and the sound mods from Rob S, both the 66 sound mod. Ah, there's a rivet trademark. You can always tell when it's a rivet route because you get these chewed off trees everywhere. Clearly, rivet like a bit of beaver. That came out wrong. Forget I said that. Chucky says until you forget you have a signal mod in there. I do sometimes run the London Modland signal mod. In fact, I have a faint suspicion I have it at the moment, given how bright they are. Maverick says Rivet's good products are Island Line 2022, 5 Circle and Bernina Linie. I actually think Arosa, if you can ignore the mountains, if you updated the mountains, it would be really good. But Arosa's actually not bad apart from that. When it first came out, it was pretty woeful. And the train still sounds like a shopping trolley being rolled down a hill in a car park. But having heard real ones, some of them actually do sound like that, so I'll forgive them. Leon says you feel like you drive a car on the road. I will in fact be riding the Island Line because I'm getting a ferry to the Ride Head Pier. Actually, I'm not getting a ferry, I'm getting a hovercraft to the Ride Head Pier. That cost a lot of money. I'm getting a ferry back because, you know, you only need to ride the hovercraft once. And I'll be staying in Shanklin before I go and ride the steam railway the next day. They're some of the only tickets I haven't bought because there's an Island Rover Pass, but you can only buy it on the island, and it gives you 2 days on the Shanklin line, plus a full day on the steam line. So I'm going to buy that because that's much cheaper than buying either of them separately. Actually, you could book it closer to the time. I wonder if you actually can. Let's see. Isle of Wight. Train day pass, that's it. Island Line Day Rover, that's the one. How to buy. Southwestern, oh, that's right, they only mail it to you. But you can buy them on the day of travel on the island, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Yes, because they only mail them. Boring people. Leon says, flowers, trees and grass are cool to see. Amy says, I don't drive a car, but I do use an electric wheelchair. It's perfect for running people over, because no one is going to say the disabled person ran me over. Because no one's going to admit they got in the way of a disabled person. It's perfect. Ooh. Ooh. I just realised I have to stop. I would have noticed when the yellow signal went past. Don't I have AWS turned on? I mustn't have. Naughty me. Ooh, this is going to be violent. Oh no, set straight, we're okay. I think we're going to make this fine. Such a short train. Train Sim Society is a corporation called Pixelate. And I have a faint suspicion that most of the Train Sim Society videos are in fact AI slop. If you listen to that voice, it has no intonation. The only time we've ever seen a human was when he was handling the TSC controller. So I don't have a lot of time for Train Sim Society. Thank you, Melbourne Train Guy. I appreciate that. Yes, it is the Isle of Wight hovercraft that's in the game, Leon. Chucky says, why are you slowing down for neutral sections? This is a diesel. Can you hear the creaking? I came back from the US after buggering my knee salsa dancing, of all things. Riding on a chair. It was quite an interesting experience. Like when you roll into the airport security. In case you haven't noticed, game, I have stopped. As you roll into the airport security and they go, can you stand up for a pat down? It's like, dude, I'm in a wheelchair. As it happens, I could. But of all the things to ask... AB says the UK does not have great e-ticket acceptance. I've found most of my tickets I can have e-tickets. There's only a couple that I've had to print this time. So mostly I'm e-ticketing. But I can e-ticket Isle of Wight. I can actually buy tickets on Trainline for it, but you can't buy that Rover Pass, which gives you access to the railway for the weekend and to the steam railway for a day. Amy says, how do you think I managed Waterloo at 5 o'clock? Lots of beeping and almost running people over. What's this almost, Amy? Just run them over. Leon says, be a Karen one day. Make a lie of an electric wheelchair. It's not about being a Karen. It's about enforcing your right to mobility. It's like being in Costco when someone just walks in front of you and you run over them with your trolley. It's like, I was moving. It's heavy. You got in the way. Yes, I'm slowing down for the signal, Chucky. Do I have to go back before it recognises I'm here? I suppose this is possible. Where is the stop point? Not seeing one. Where is it on the map? Oh, right back there. I guess I can get back there. Alright. We'll go back there. I'll be fine. Thank you for the net worth, Melbourne Train Guy. No, I want to be on the back. Is none of my 3 cameras actually on the back of this train? That's a red signal, isn't it? Do I just chance it and go past it? Surely that's a red for going into the loop. Oh well. This is either going to work or we're going to spat. We'll see. I think it really is red. I think we're just going to spad now. So we'll try the trick. So as soon as we've gone past it, but before it spads me, you go save. And then we go main menu. Spin, spin, spin. Goes out to the center, straight into the wall in a great big fireball. Too early? Resume. And hopefully we'll come up after the signal and still moving and it'll be fine. Oh, I saved it too early. Never mind. We'll run another 66 somewhere. You asked an AI if the channel was an AI. I reckon it's an AI. Listen to the voice. It has no emotion and no intonation. It's always exactly the same. Oh, why don't we run a 66 on... I know what he wants. Is there a 66 on here? Advenza Freight? There's only a light engine, though. That's okay. So you can see what route they came from. And there's a colas, and there's a dirty colas. There's an ex-EWS, so it's had its EWS removed. There's the DRS. We haven't run a Freightliner yet. Let's do a Freightliner. That'll work. And New Haven Aggregates Terminal. 8 minutes. That'll be good for a light engine. Tea and biscuits with no tea or biscuits. Absolutely. Oh, feel free to use the Nightbot commands. You're welcome to. That's why they're there. So it said it was a light engine. But I appear to be hooked up to a train. And I appear to be about to load some aggregates. Isn't that interesting? But we can do that. That's fine. Oh, and it's a TOD 4 engine and a TOD 3 route. Yucky. That's why it's blinded by the light. And we're going to want to go slowly, aren't we? I think we'll just go slowly the easy way. Or just drive slowly. It's a bit weird that I'm in the back passage carriage. Freightliner. In the Australian colours. Green and gold. 66616. What a beast of an engine. Let me check these points and just make sure I am actually going to go the right way here. And I wasn't going to. Look at that. We were not going to be going the correct way. I think I had a look. See you later, Maverick. Leon is playing Roblox. Fair enough. Chocky says you did it too early. Yes, quite possibly. MTG's going to get the Earl Grey. I know he wants the East Coast Mainline. That's why I always put it on East Coast Way. We'll do it next. We'll do the East Coast Mainline just for Chocky. Because I know he desperately wants it. "66616, powered by Satan." Get rid of that thing, we might even see it load. Is it doing anything back there? Oh yeah. I'm going a bit quick, aren't I? We're only half filling. Go on, you. Didn't I push you enough? Let's try that. Oh, you've got a little bit of brakes on. No wonder. Powering against the brakes, the only way to do it. Maverick will be back in Japan when he joins the next stream. Yes. My next one will be on Sunday. I think on Sunday I'll probably do another day of railroad, a very small beginning railroad. See you later, Amy. Chocky says I'm making this way too complicated. Am I annoying you, Chocky? I could do it in slow mode, or I could do it without the brakes on. But you know, this is more fun. Tam asks, what are your thoughts? You're looking forward to trying out scenarios that look really good on the 101 game pack? Oh, we'll see. The 101 kind of terrifies me a little bit. There's nothing I like more than being yelled at in German by a train. So as long as I've got Mr. Lexic Dark in the chat, I could even put him in a Discord so that he can translate what the train's trying to tell me, I suppose. That would work too. Yeah, it does spew a bit early sometimes. Night Lord Vectron the Fourth. All hail the mighty Vectron. Listen to that big 16-cylinder engine for robbing its little ass off. Oh, this isn't the coal ass version, so it's not throbbing its ass off. It's just throbbing. Last one. And maybe we should stay on this one because it'll go somewhere now, I guess. Right, we are all full. I think. Or did we still misfill some? No, they're all 100%. So why aren't we... Oh, no, look at that. There's one at 98. There's always one. Fine. Ooh, it's slipping. Maybe I'll let the brakes off then. That little tiny drop there. Let's just check out tracks. Yep, all good. The mighty Freightliner green and gold shed. There we go. And the next service should take this somewhere, I think. Oh, we run around it. Okay. That's right, Leon. This is a wireless train. It's called Derek. Don't hit the end. Do I really want to know how close I came then? Close enough. Well done, Derek. Derek the train. Yep, they're set straight. I can set that one for the loop. How do you know it wasn't just scared, Chucky? Just for the record, apple juice. Nothing to see here. It's not very good at stopping itself, is it? How could you still have your brakes on? How is this even possible? It really sounds like it's got the brakes on. Leon says, hi, Derek the train. Melbourne says he didn't see any bumps. Very loyal, Melbourne. Very loyal. Thank you. Mr. Hawk says, special apple juice. Yes. Irish. 12-year-old apple juice, in fact. Very special apple juice. Stupid me, when coming back through the airport the other day, completely forgot to buy some more special apple juice. A gentle little kiss. Perfect. Right, and if we just go continue. 11:19. Back to the main menu we go. We are going to run this train, so it's the 11:19 aggregate. We're going to go find it and run it. Hello, Benjamin's brain in a jar. Mr. Hawk says, just as well you've got another trip. That's true, but I could have had 2 bottles. Sad. Hello, Pete, 888UK. How are you? What was that? East Coastway, wasn't it? And we were running the Freightliner, so we'll go back and run the Freightliner again. And the 11:19 aggregate, go. There you go. Go into Bob mode. Oops, wrong. Main menu. Boop. Boop. Right. Headlamp. No tail lamp. And how's our tracks looking on the way out of here? Looks pretty good. And we are, in fact, allowed to go. Leon has a fix on the tracks. And now we're off to Lucy, apparently. Chucky says, rather ironically, since we got East Coastway, I am not going to go and make some lunch because I need food. Pete's doing well. A month off work, so you have a bounce in your step. I understand that. I've just come off 11 days off work, and in 6 more working days, I will be flying out again. Normally it would be 7, but I don't work Fridays. Benjamin says, want to know what annoys me most about TSW5? You boot it up, the number loco is turquoise on the splash screen. For the rest of the game, it is pink. Was it belatedly mandated by Matt? I don't know. It's actually kind of interesting. I don't think I've ever noticed that before, to be honest. Terrible when your special apple juice runs out. You've only got 10 minutes, Chalky, because then we're doing East Coast Mainline. Who runs straight on East Coast Mainline? What operator should I choose? On our way to Lucy Lou. Oh, it's power rail, isn't it? I was thinking, why has it got 3? But yeah, it's a power rail. This is an electric line. Don't mind me. I'm just not used to electric lines out in the country. See you after lunch, Jockey. Melbourne Train Guy says, it's a shame there's not a place local to you that sells apple juice that maybe has a drop through. There is. There's several of them. But after you've had some special apple juice, it's not a good idea to drive. We will see you on East Coast Mainline. I still need input into what operator should run on East Coast Mainline. Melbourne Train Guy cries in V-Line. Do you know when I used to ride the Melton train? We used to buy beer from the guard. Used to sell beer He's a good bloke. Off we go to Lewis. Tree Sim World. Now it's funny. Even Matt calls it Tree Sim World now. Melton was alright when I lived there. That was a long time ago. About 1990, I think. It wasn't full of hooligans then. It's definitely had a bit of a mafia takeover since then. So we should run a really, really quick service on East Coast Mainline so it's done before Chocky comes back. Does that seem a fair thing to do? Economy bridge shot. All those tractors parked where they broke down. Has anyone got front wheels? Oh yeah. Could be Thomas Sim World. Just don't worry about it. It's all good. There's nothing to see here. Where's my gratuitous bridge shot? There it is. I knew it was in there somewhere. We're going to have to wait on the approach to Lewis, I think, unless this is an approach control signal. We can run an RHTT. Doesn't have to be a short one. Oh, come on, you're not that heavy. What are we waiting for? There's no one in the platforms. Oh, that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for you. 2C24. Brighton to Seaford. It's not even in the platform yet. Should let the mighty shed through. A TEA that blocks a level crossing. Sounds exciting. I don't think I've seen that outfit before. Huh. The things you see. The train's up there, lady. Don't worry, we're waiting for it too. You're back, Leon. Welcome back. We're just waiting for this 377 to get out of the way so we can move. I could delete it, but that would be mean. I only run East Coast Way every time Chocky asks me to run East Coast Mainline, and I just pretend I don't understand and run East Coast Way. So I'm on it quite a bit, because Chocky wants East Coast Mainline a lot. There it goes, finally. Pete says, British Ace played it so much I got bored of it. It's his local. I think he's probably played every service on it. I don't think I'll ever get to the point where I'm a game player that plays every service. I just don't see that ever happening. Into Lucy Lou we go. We're going to raw dog it straight into the station. Pete says, I like the new 170 DLC. There is some waiting at signals, not just straight greens. I do always appreciate that, because it's realistic. Hello, people of Lucy Lou. I have rocks for you. A whole trainload of rocks. Pete hopes to do all the 350 services on the West Coast Mainline. Well, if it floats your boat, Pete, why not? Smack that lady in the head with my mirror then. Do 66s have mirrors? I don't know. Some trains do. I've been processing some of my UK videos, which are going to go up on Friday nights. Some of them are already up in members only mode and are scheduled for various Fridays. And I was processing one today from East Lancashire, and I'd actually forgotten that I got a cab ride, because I was going through the videos going, hang on, that's in the cab. When did that happen? I had forgotten the nice people of East Lancs gave me a ride. Then I had to feed it to my processor to get their voices out, because... There we go. A sliver? It's the only bit I went too fast, that I got a sliver. Oh well. Sliverin'. Alright, East Coast Mainline it is. Bad luck, Jockey. So expect real train videos every Friday night. I don't know how long I'll be able to keep that up for, but I've got a few, so probably be okay. I've got to get a few more processed before I go. East Coast Mainline, Peterborough to Doncaster. Intermodal. Now, we've run the Advenza before, so we won't run the Advenza again. We've done the rail freight. Have we done a GBRf? Or have we done the GBRf British Rail? What else have we got? There's the pink one, of course. I think we need to do a GBRf. And this time we're turning that weather off. We're going to have just a touch of fog in July. Yes, seems fair. Let's run this one. 36 minutes. Go. What time is it? 9:30. That's all right. Leon saying hello to the people on the Red Head at Port Adelaide. We're in the wrong brake mode again. Presses the wrong button. Like a wally. Ding. What sort of temperatures are we looking at the moment in the UK? Hey, this one worked with Raildriver. Wow. This one is working with Raildriver. Excellent. Still got to wait for our red signal, though. Wait for a moment. I don't want to. We're going to move up gently. How big's our train? She's one hefty bobber. We've got 66715 in GB rail freight. It's quite a nice livery, isn't it? Part of Europort. 127 tons, 68 brake force tons. It's still releasing the brakes, so it must be a fairly long train. $8.54 for Leon. Yes, you're in the past, Leon. You live in Adelaide. Melbourne Train Guy asks, how likely do you think we be a cargo line or a GTG gameplay pack? Well, you never know. The license is there. They could use it. 21 degrees in Oxford at the moment. That's all right. Given it was 35 and 36 in Japan, we're between 70 and 100% humidity every day. Jockey says it's 24 maximum London, mix of sun and clouds. Some days expecting rain. This is our stereotypical summer. Pete says 25 where he is at the moment, but rumours of a heat wave up to 40 on the way. Of course, in about 11 days, right? Yes. It's not as humid in the UK though, so it won't be as bad as the heat that I had in Japan. Leon is from Gawler. It's an Adelaide suburb, isn't it? Chocky says over the last month we've had multiple weeks with not a cloud or a drop of rain and 33 each day. But what do you call high humidity, Chocky? Melbourne Train Guy says it's 6 degrees where he is. I could go and look at my weather station and tell you. Or actually, I can... Yeah. I can get to it online. Do I have a bookmark on this thing for it? I don't think I do. That's a bit boring. No bookmark for my weather station. Quiet, you. Looking for bookmarks. There's Wonderground, but I don't use Wonderground anymore. No. Don't have bookmark for it on here. Never mind. Chocky Transport's back. He's caught me in East Coast Mainline. Must be time to change to another route. That little farmer's crossing here, or a little laneway crossing perhaps? Looks like it's permanently closed, that one. We're hearing these sounds from the rail freight mod pack. Fred. That's pretty nice working hard, doesn't it? Pete says your heat is horrible. 60% to 70%. Yeah, that's pretty high. So if it's over 30, that's going to be a bit horrible. Melbourne says Frangana sounds closer to the water. It's probably colder. Actually, it's usually the opposite. We usually get a bit warmer because the water makes it temperate. Oh, there goes my switch from parallel. Let's notch it back up again. Zuma! I paid extra to ride one of those, but, you know, had to be done. What was the noise you were thinking, Leon? I have much sarcasm, Jockey. I rarely run out. We're only here because of you. Do these open up? Inquiring minds need to know. I don't think I've ever stopped to find out. I'm sure they don't, because the Azumers go too fast for manual gates. No FKAs in the rate. They do open. Well, bugger me. How about that? Leon misses the old diesel good noise on the railcard train. This one is not a bullet train, this is a shed. With a gratuitous bridge shot that I just managed to get in time. Chocky says you're only here because of avoiding the East Coastway. This is funny. Chocky says if you get too far from the train, it crashes. Is that with the mod? Chocky says funny how they open as there's no bloke there to open them. Yes. Gonna get hit by a train soon, aren't I? It'll be in a Zoomer. It'll smack me right in the nose. "23 miles to the Doncaster decoy down." That's where they trap you. You go after the decoy. That's in general, says Jockey. That's interesting. Shouldn't crash. You just have to wait for it to reload the tiles. It shouldn't crash. Jockey said it crashed with mods when I got too far from the train, and it crashed on Melbourne Train Guys and Richie's PS5 and they flew too far from the train in free camp. This loads forever and eventually closes the game. Well, that's weird. That shouldn't. Hopefully Richie reported that. It's good to have a quick hump on the road, mate. Crashed Rex's stream as well on PS5. Interesting. I'm subscribed to Rex and I hardly ever watch him. I should. Construction yard or a bit of fly tipping going on? Who knows? Uh-oh. Smack! I hurt my nose. Pete would like to recommend Rex as an ambassador. No swearing, explores the routes, has fun and well spoken. Well, get on to Alex, Pete. Alex is the one who makes ambassador choices currently. Oops, stuck on a fence. You lot heard that bird, right? Melbourne train guy will be a good ambassador, but he needs to grow a little bit before they'll consider him. We're almost up to the speed of this locomotive. Almost. And I've got a yellow signal coming. Just in time. Being eccentric is okay. The only thing they really ask of the ambassadors is play nice, and if you have issues, tell Dovetail about the issues before you tell the world. So I always do. I put in reports for things that I find. Terrible. Speeding again. Lots of votes for Rex the Ambassador. Well, that's good. Betting that crossing doesn't open. Trains often come out of nowhere. It's kind of funny when I'm training people on our railway and I'm taking someone out to be a trainee fireman. You get the odd one when they're climbing down out of the cab. Did I not acknowledge something? I'm guessing not. No appear to have had an emergency brake. Go on, jockey, start the counter. But training people on our railway, even where trains run really slowly, sometimes I'll be hopping out of the cab. And I'll go, did you look before you got out? Because we have a single track main line, so it's not really possible to have another train passing you or anything like that. But if you're in a station, you could easily have one right next to you. It'll be a little while before the brakes actually let us move. I don't actually know why I got braked then. Unless I missed a speed change sign with AWS, but I don't think so, because I don't have a brake demand. No, I don't see anything. There is a magnet there, but that shouldn't have gone off with me doing about 77. Ah, good. We can move. Melbourne Train Guy says there's a nice little group of us going. Rex, myself, Megasim, Gamer, and Wolfie Plays. Ah, cool. And Chocky. You run a lot of mods too, Chocky. They do generally prefer vanilla. They put up with you running mods from time to time, but I am required to tell people when I'm running mods. They don't care about TSC mods, just TSW. Not lit. And it wouldn't have let me get going so quickly anyway. All those solar panels. Cool, Pete. Just made it. Bit awkward, but you know. I'm good at awkward. Chocky says TSW with no mods is cake with no icing. Yep. I prefer cream to icing. Icing gets into the teeth that I should have fillings in. Goes a bit yuck. Blue sun power things. They're called solar panels, Leon. Melbourne Train Guy says the traction motors sound amazing. They do sound quite good. I do think they're a little bit loud on the inside, because they overpower the diesel a bit. Chocky only eats cake for jam and icing. Otherwise it's glorified bread. Ooh. Cake insults. What's wrong with cake and cream, I ask you? It's not about running no mods, Chocky, but it's when you're showing off new stuff, you need to be clear of mods, and that's just being fair to the people who are looking at it, because you want them to see what they're going to get. It's the same as I don't run a custom mini. I mean, I could make the shadows so much better, and I'd quite happily lose 10 FPS to do that, but I don't, because it's not fair to the people who are watching my stream, and they look at it and go, but that's what I'm going to get. I mean, it's bad enough that I run it in 2.5K, and the people who run it in 4K as well, yeah, because they are showing off what your average player simply can't do. Train is going fast. Melbourne Train Guy is known to be biased towards the shed. Well, you've got a good collection with this mod. It's another good reason why consoles need mod manager. Pete enjoys cake with ice cream. Excellent. I'm quite partial to cake with cream. Ice cream is, as well, could be pretty good, but with cream is just nice. Knock, knock, knock. Hello, that was a shed you were listening to. "13 miles to the Doncaster Down decoy." Chocky says, like you run all the previews, vanilla, and run other streams like this with mods. Yeah, exactly. I do play with mods a lot, but I don't often stream them. I quite like some of the mods. There's some really good ones out there. And this one I took a bit of a gamble because at 6 PM, this mod was still downloading. And I got it in and got it running, and was driving it when I started the stream. I'd been running for about 20 minutes in that service. Melbourne Train Guy says, I think on preview streams you mandated all streams are at equal settings level. Oh, I think it's okay to show people different stuff. I would like to show consoles more often. But the way the console builds work, the final build is not usually on the console until the actual day it's releasing. So it's a bit problematic for showing off new ones. And there's enough of the other ambassadors like British Ace, Hentus, people like that who run it on the day of release. Leon says, hello, said train kids at home. We are hearing dropouts in the sound occasionally from the sound mod. It's not the Megapack mod. The Megapack delivers the liveries like this one, which I have to say are very well done. Bit of a wobbly old 66 there. Got a bit of the wobbles happening. Wonder how well it's doing in relation to the carriages. Not much wobble on the carriages. Tiny bit maybe, but not much. Then again, this is a 120 mile an hour main line. You shouldn't be getting too much wobble on it. Melbourne Train Guy says mod manager coming in TSW6. That's your guess. It will be nice. No. I'd be a little bit surprised, but hey, I've been surprised before at some of the releases. I've been surprised at releases that came out and I was in the beta and never knew they were happening. Because unless you stayed on top of the beta Discord, you didn't necessarily know about everything that was coming. And in the early days, you volunteer to test everything, which means you test almost nothing. And as you get further into it, you tend to just concentrate on particular things, so you can do a proper job for it. Yes, Matt the Thomas the Tank Engine and friends. I do need to have a look at them. MTG says you stream the HSP pack and then you stream the 170 mod and now you stream a 66 mod. So you think I am the harbinger of new stuff? It has kind of worked out that way occasionally. What's that little box with a solar panel on its roof? Wonder what that is. Looks like a little solar-powered K9. And if you don't know what a K9 is, I feel sorry for you. Christine headed up the stairs and the Sookie cat just followed her. Six miles to go. Yeah, I'm not sure where that solar panel would be for. It doesn't look like a point machine. It looks a bit big. Tree Sim World gratuitous bridge shot. That's it exactly, Leon. The robot dog in Doctor Who. Miles. Melbourne Train Guy says never mandatory but always gratuitous. This is true. The gratuitous bridge shot. I get the impression you probably remember lots of things, Leon. GBRf. This will probably be the last run tonight, unless there's a livery that people particularly want to look at. We can start something up and have a look at the list and go through all the liveries that are there. Because there certainly are a few. Good night, Leon. Melbourne Train Guy says, I think this has been enough sheds for a lifetime. Really? You are the shed guy, though. We have yellows coming up, but I haven't seen them yet. Pete says, I hope in TSW6 it's easier to search Creators Club. Yeah, it is a bit of a pain sometimes. Interesting. The brake pipe went up. Have I switched to the direct brake or something, maybe? Yeah, I must have. I must have switched brakes on the controller. Melbourne Train Guy says, I've got so many shed videos lined up, they're coming out of your ears. Excellent. Once you edit them all together, the Shedtacular is on. Well, you clearly need a PC and you need this mod. Chocky needs to get some shed videos, sheddy, or some shed-tastic scenarios. Melbourne Train Guest says, I only just got a 9th gen console, good for like 10 years. That's possible. I forgot how long this train was, so having the brakes on that hard has just about stopped us. Because it's still charging the train up, as you can see by the airflow indicator. So the brakes are still on at the back. Chocky says, shame the scenario I was just working on it, revolving around a star. Wow, I'm on time. That never happens. Did the wires get forgotten on this bit, or is it deliberate? That's a quite interesting question. I don't know what's putting tension on these wires. I'm guessing the other wires were forgotten. A missing chunk of them. Mower sheds. Bit like this one. As we approach our final stop. So this is an intermodal. If it was a car full of cattle cars, would it be an intermodal? What's wrong with intermodal, Melbourne Train Guy, for a cattle train? It's not my fault you didn't detect the other gen jokes. You go anywhere after this? No. Mr. Hawk says not to be confused with the online learning platform Moodle. Indeed. It's a very old platform, Moodle. It's been around for such a long time. It was around the uni when I was there. That was a long time ago. It looks quite different now, though. Melbourne Train Guy says, I hate Moodle and I've just started using it. Everyone hates Moodle. It was originally running on a deck VAX. I wonder what different sheds we'll see here. There's something coming up. Looks like it might be an ooze. Well, part of university systems is to teach you how to cope with shit computer systems. So when you get into the real world and you discover it's full of shit computer systems, you go, ah, I know how to use that. That's fine. You, Siebel. I once got a job on the basis of not knowing Siebel. I can see some other 66s down there, so we might have to go look at those. Fortunately, that was enough. Let's go see what's down the back here. Whee! What have we got? We've got an ooze. We've got a direct rail services. And half an ooze. Well, that's pretty good. That's made my day, that has. I think that needs to be a future thumbnail. Yep, that's a future thumbnail for sure. Continue. What else have we got down here? There's a couple more over here. Got a DB rail freight. And an EWS and an ex-EWS. Anything else hiding anywhere? Oi! Where you going? I'm not coming with you. Well, if your door's open for that. Uh-oh, I'm stuck in it. Got out. Your train's too short, mate. Anyway, I think that's about it for today, since I've managed to shorten that guy's train. And the rest of it's just sitting there now. Won't go anywhere because it's been disconnected, but we'll put a handbrake on anyway. Oh, wow. That was animated. Well, that's cool. Anyway, enjoy yourselves, folks. Thank you very much for joining in tonight. The chat is, as always, lively and appreciated. And appreciate the lurkers as well, who don't always chat. So we've had a bit of fun looking at the Mega Mod Pack for the 66s. So bring on the sheds. If you like this mod, I did put a link to the mod itself in the description, but there are a couple more that you probably may want as well. We're not running this one at the moment, but this is a new timetable for West Coast Mainline that I've been looking at. We were running this one today, so that's the sound mods for freight, and we were running the class 66 sound mod, which is this one, and we were also running the Megapack version 1, which has got a whole lot of liveries in it. So yeah, good fun. Alrighty, enjoy yourselves. Thank you very much. I will be streaming on Sunday, and I think timetable wise, I think there is the beast, the 101. I'll probably give it a crack. We'll see how I go. Could be interesting. But anyway, you know how it is. That thing scares me. Alrighty, have fun, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you again soon. Bye now.